All rise for the kings of the Black Throne. All rise for the kings of the Black Throne.
because I was using that for I was using that coping and seething meme because my fishing on Yakuza 0 wasn't going well. Thankfully, I finished last night, but anyways. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am One Man, joined by my buddy Zepp. And the Kokutai and Luzifier piece of the Team Orwell faction are together once again. Probably for a one-off, but not entirely sure about that. Anyways.
Well, let's see.
Let's start with the packwatch of Oshinoko, shall we?
Oh, yes. Yes, please do. The
Because-
latest chapter has caused some shit along with my video.
Oh yeah, people are coping and seething. Speaking of which, on Zeppelin's.
Yemek yemiyorum ha. İstemiyorum.
They're coping and seething over Zepp's video, which is
Yeah.
a really weird thing to cope over. Like, if you want to be mad about the spoilers, be mad at the people who actually leaked the chapter. Like, you don't even see the actual fucking spoilers in the fucking video in the first place.
Well,
So-
you kind of do, but it's a couple of seconds, and then I reiterate the fact.
Yeah, but most people aren't video
Hey, guys.
editors, so they won't notice those couple of seconds.
Oh, guys, by the way, we're streaming.
Oh, and I guess Ghost decided to join the fun with the whole Kokutai no Luzifier, but yeah,
I'm just here because you guys are.
but we're in the guild talk here.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you're technically a member of Team Orwell. You are basically the Bone Soldier rank.
Basically
The grunt, the fresh meat, etc.
Yeah.
the conscript, the
Yes.
guy who got drafted onto the stream.
I don't think we drafted you, but you're
No,
basically a
you
new
volun-
recruit.
Yeah, you volunteered.
Yeah, you're a volunteer.
I
Keep him-
volunteered.
Keep in mind that there is a history behind why we call it such. Team Orwell is basically a podcast of ours based on people with talent that has either the potential to or has already caused things of higher talent, basically. So, people like my buddy Zepp or Lida, both of which we have some level of knowledge of, or not just knowledge of history, but some level of experience revolving socio-political aspects. So that's why you're kind of a bone soldier, basically.
Good thing I have no talent.
Everybody has talent, dude. You just have to fucking find it.
Exactly.
What? Oh wow! I found it when I was. I found it all right. Writing
Yeah.
smut.
I don't think that's a unique talent, but whether it is or not, it's not really important right now. I'm just giving you context as to what's going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, our bone soldier rank has joined the Team Orwell chat. So what we're going to be doing today with the Kokutai no Luzifier, well, technically more Team Orwell at this point, but anyways, we're going to be talking about Oshinoko. We're going to be doing a pack watch of people who are triggered over the Oshinoko tweets and on his latest video.
Yep.
As his
And the
latest
thing
video.
is-
His
yeah.
latest video is great. It's only got one issue, and
Yeah,
I've
I
already.
shortened it down. I mean, I used the editor. Luckily, it didn't take away from the views.
And I'm not exactly ripping on you for that, Zep, because I kind of have no right. Turns out that I meant to turn off the stream of my Yakuza video stream.
Yeah. I figured as much, but I thought you had PC problems more.
Yeah.
That's waiting.
And so ultimately, it's like, I have no right to complain because my Yakuza 0 video I left on all night while I was asleep. And so when I look at it in the YouTube studio, it's almost 30 fucking hours. I don't know how it's almost 30
I was
hours.
wondering, like, did his computer go frying off something like that?
No, I just forgot to turn off the stream.
Fair.
And it just kept running. Which I didn't even notice, but I guess I was too tired to figure out.
I mean, you did mention that your Elgato was...
Yeah, but the Elgato piece is a completely different issue. So with the Elgato, the issue with that is that the way my setup is, my Elgato is on the ground underneath my desk. Get this, turns out my place is underneath an orchard. So during the colder times of year, and when I run my heater, they flood in. And every time I look at one of my electronic pieces, whether it's my Elgato or my HDCP thing that you use to strip split the video feed or whatever, both of those have ants in them, as in like a hive of it. So they still work, but for how long is a completely different question.
Yeah.
Anyways, hold on. I'm gonna figure out which. Sure, there's a window section here that. Nope. No, I didn't actually. Yeah. So. Let's see. Where's the window capture? Okay.
And by the way, I made the thumbnail to the podcast, an amalgamation of the Confederate flag and the Austro-Hungarian Empire flag, for very obvious reasons. Oh boy.
So, what do I mean by packwatch? Well, this right here, this post right here. Look at this postograph.
In all of its glory, my friends. All of it.
I love that I'm just fucking insulting fans just for the fuck of it. It's fucking enjoyable.
You were. And I was just like, nice. Yeah.
So the controversy.
Yeah, by
do you
the way,
mind if I
still got 300 plus views.
So Zepp, before I ask the question, Zepp, before I ask you the question, there's a wise saying by Eric Bischoff. Only those who know who Eric Bischoff is will get that. But the phrase is controversy creates cash.
I know what you meant there. Any good advertisement is...
Yeah, it's basically it's a derivative of that phrase, and it's P.T. Barnum.
That's it.
Any press is good press, but at the same time, the reason why Bischoff ran WCW the way he did was because controversy creates cash. So now I'm going to ask a question. Zepp, do you mind if I play your video?
Yeah, go ahead, man. You're my friend, and
I know, but I still want
This is
to.
my vid on.
I still want to, ask permission.
Ship.
Make it full screen if
the
you want.
Akarubi ship, as it is shortened to.
Oh yeah. By the way, there's no sound.
Colloquially. And
There's
yeah,
no
the whole situation regarding
no sound
post chapter 123
Oh wait, hold on.
up until now.
Oh,
Present,
wait.
which is
It's because I had a meeting.
chapter
on
142
YouTube side.
for me right now.
Alright.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's start with a clip from
Alright, let's start from the beginning.
V2
We'll stop the video so we go.
about how Aqua and Ruby will end up together, and that he thinks that is okay.
In its pages, we witness Ruby's reverie delving into an imagined meeting with the Doctor. figure of significant importance in her past life as Aqua. The ethereal encounter showcases Ruby's journey as an idol, and the Doctor replicates with heartfelt praise, solidifying the profound connection they share across the boundaries of lifetimes. These fleeting glimpses into their past life evoke emotions that resonate with the readers, igniting a powerful sense of curiosity and fascination. After which, she and Akane find Goro's corpse. The rich array of mythology connections in Oshinoko has captivated fans, sparking speculation about the characters' destinies. If Ruby and Aqua do actually end up together romantically, it would be a narrative choice that aligns beautifully with recurrent themes of fate, destiny, and profound connections present throughout the story. This mythology connection.
Now, keep in mind one thing. You drew a comparison between, and probably the manga drew a comparison between Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi.
Yeah,
The way-
Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi, yeah?
The way I perceive it is that it's more of a Tanabata story.
Okay.
You know the tale Tanabata, right?
No.
Tanabata
Tell
is
me.
basically this romance story across the stars between two star-crossed lovers that will never be able to meet and love each other. And the name,
Go on.
the females is named Orihime. And so when you put up like those, you know those like rectangular wishes that you see in Japanese anime and media?
Oh, yeah.
What they're basically wishing is that in return for their wish, they're basically asking, in return for her granting their wishes, they're supposedly more likely to wish for her to reach her loved one. So
I see. It's a bit like the whole crane, the origami crane situation.
so basically,
Lovers do, yeah.
so basically, that's how I would interpret that, is that kind of tale,
Yeah.
because it's more of a issue of like star-crossed lovers situation, which is still fucking creepy, mind you. It's still
Considering, yeah.
But here's the take I had that most people will find either weird, champ, or just completely disagree with, in that I think, in my personal opinion, any form of fictional media, as long as it's not involving real people, is more than perfectly okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
if it was real life, then yeah.
I mean, you and
Angelo or Akasaka would be damn near in prison.
like,
but yeah.
not only, here's the thing, you're an Akane fan and I'm a Kana fan.
Yes. And ironically enough, we're supposed to be enemies, right? No, we can actually sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
Unlike
Plus
some other.
Plus, his pre-established friendship also is a thing.
Exactly.
The reason why I like Kana is a combination of the tsundere and childhood friend tropes. And no offense, but Akane kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies in that one episode.
Yeah, episode 7.
And it's
the thing is, I like Akane due to, well, I went through kind of a similar situation. And
I think I have a guess as to what the situation is, but
yeah, go on. I mean, like, and after that, I was feeling a bit shit, and then I saw the episode 6 of Oshinoko, and I am basically an Akane myself. I'm really just too smart for my own good sometimes, because the thing is, with computer parts and camera parts, it's just like, what the fuck? I'm actually that good. But I really do need to put my shit into notes, like in Akane's room sometimes.
Well, aren't you also like doing a thing for training for a police officer or whatever?
Oh well, yeah, I'm still waiting for the application. Yeah. It's just waiting. That's more of a state secret, if you know what I mean.
I mean, you and I are both in like in between states where you're trying to be a police officer. I'm trying to get myself into the field of politics.
Yeah,
so,
fair enough.
If you're wondering why Zepp and I, Ghost, if you're wondering why Zepp and I are in a what I like to call Team Orwell, is because we all, Zepp, myself, and Lita are all people with prior political history. He's basically applying to be a police officer. I have history with the Donald Trump campaign. I'm running for my own position in office. Lita is a former military serviceman, so there's that. So you kind of see where we're going with the socio-political thing here.
Yeah. I need some experience as well.
Well, let's figure. Sometime you, Zepp, and I should kind of work with you to figure that out.
Yeah. Let's see.
Everything starts off with something that's of interest to the person. I've been a fan of politics since I was 11, for fuck's sake. So this is basically all I ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's just that.
Meanwhile, my family literally, left Turkey because of like their political beliefs and religious beliefs. So there you go. I mean, literally trawling through the whole of Europe, and then we came here before I was born. Well,
that's awesome. I mean, I feel conflicted about Turkey. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, I feel pretty shit about it too. Don't worry about that.
I don't hate it, but they have a history with my favorite civilization of all time, aka the Ottoman Empire.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to rip on people for liking Islam, but I can't, in all consciousness, like it whatsoever.
No, I agree with you. As another way, Muslim are just.
It's the same reason why I don't care for. It's the same reason why I don't care for Christianity. It's because a lot of the things they do and act and treat people is just, in my personal opinion, unconscionable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's just how I feel on that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
meanwhile, you get the whole Japanese aspect of it.
Japan's kind of something I am conflicted on as well.
Mm-hmm. Considering imperial history and then post-World War II.
Like, when it comes to imperial history on, like, an aesthetic level, love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Imperial Japan on a humanities level?
Oh, God.
Not so much.
No. Yeah. The best put Tojo underneath the carpet as soon as possible, the better. That's the whole thing.
Whoa! Why is it doing that?
Ooh, stream.
Yeah, but I'm not even trying to do that. I'm not even using.
Oh,
display capture. I'm just using window capture. What the fuck? Oh well, fuck it. At any rate, we already have a general idea.
Mm-hmm.
We have a general idea of what Zepp's video is, but if you don't have it, I do have a link to it. I wholeheartedly recommend it. It's a fantastic video. It's entertaining that it triggers so many people. And it's not like triggering in a way that's actually harmful. It's just that he's using something that other people have already fucking, that somebody else set up and spoiled in the first place.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, with the spoilers for chapter 143, the thing is, I was editing the first half of the vid when that had just happened, and I was just thinking, like, fuck it. Let me put that in.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it took me like 4 days after work hours to do the vid anyways, so I just decided, oh fuck it, I might as well take one more day just to put in some of this shit. And that's why I made the addendum at the end just before the flashback scene. I was like, oh yeah, this a funny thing just happened between Menga on her Twitter about spoilers for that.
And here's the thing, Zep. Like, again, I had to re-mention that the video can't really count as spoilers at all. Because the you only notice the spoilers if you have the eye for video editing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Like, the way Zepp set it up is that a lot of these images are only there for, like, half a second to a second. Even the manga panels were, like, 0.5 seconds to, like, maybe 2. So you'd actually have to go and pause the video, which no one would pause to spoil, because it's fucking retarded.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're, nobody's gonna know it's a spoiler. So that's why I don't really get their anger, because it's like, bro, it doesn't spoil anything. And yeah, and at best, at the most charitable interpretation of their words, they would basically have only you talking about something to be mad over. But at the same time, it's like, well, people already fucking know this. How is it a spoiler in any capacity?
Yeah.
Talking about the incest ending was something I knew, and I never read the manga.
Yeah, exactly. The first thing I mentioned was chapter 123, that notorious panel as well.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, this is how it's going to end. And I was like, you bet. Yeah. And the thing is, I go over it in my vid. Ruby is unstable.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever the relationship is mentioned, it's just like, yeah, she's like that.
I'm not gonna lie, your comparison a long way back to the Coffin of Ashley and Laylee is kind of on par, a 1-for-1 translation for Ruby at least. I don't really treat Aqua as like the doormat that Andrew is.
No.
But,
nah. He's just a virgin, man.
I just find it intriguing that you relate to Akane when I literally relate to Aqua.
Yeah. The thing is, Aqua has 2 lives worth of experience.
I'm basically a drug addict to Vengeancium. It's, but you know how like there's copium and hopium and all that crap.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the kind of thing I'm kind of attached to is what I would call Vengeancium.
That's true.
Whether it's fucking Sosuke Eyes and Matter of Chiha or Aqua or whatever, that's the sort of shit I relate to.
I like how my friend Sad was asking in DMs, oh, is my vid spoilers? Not much.
So when you say sad, are you talking about SAAD?
SAAD, yes, on Twitter as well.
Ah, okay, so I don't mean to be mean to him or you, but he had a take on tomboys that I just did not like at all. And he said something along the lines of, if you're into tomboys, you're gay.
Okay, Mio Honda exists.
Like,
I don't get that.
I don't get it either. I'm not like trained to be mean to either you or him. I just find the opinion to be fucking dog shit, to be honest.
I mean, that came off as random because I never actually looked at it that far.
It has a blue check mark to his name, right?
No.
Then again, because the one I talked to did have a blue check mark.
Oh, fair. No,
so maybe I'm talking about a different set then.
Different, yeah. Defo, because his handle on Twitter is @kidsad.
Oh yeah, then it's definitely not him.
Nah, defo not.
Okay.
It's like,
There goes my sense of guilt. My sense of guilt is now purged. Thank fuck.
Don't worry.
Because
my brain is now purged.
How do you purge someone's brain? Like nobody took something into your head and carved it out, bro. Like,
I've read a horrible political argument.
Oh, good.
When have I not? When haven't I? I had a fucking garbage debate with some asshole online yesterday. It was stupid. Like, he kept claiming, oh, you believe Trump over his victims and don't believe he's a pedophile? Well, you must be a pedophile too. And I'm just like, bro, I never said I believed him over the so-called victims. I said I believe the Constitution. Like the U.S. Constitution of innocent until proven guilty. And I kept repeating that to him, even though but yet he kept saying, oh, you believe Trump. And I'm just like, bro, fuck off. Just because somebody uses the Fifth Amendment does not mean that it's an admission of guilt. Oh, that's not entirely wrong, Shadow.
Yeah.
Trump is trash, but like I said, trash for trash, man.
Yeah.
Most people in this world are garbage. I'm just saying.
Well, there's trash and there's useful trash in this world.
That's what we call that recycling, okay?
Yes. That's true.
I mean, there's a reason why we have it here in the States is that we have a blue bin and a gray bin. A gray bin is for actual trash. Blue bins are for recycling. And here in Oregon, we have a saying, when in doubt, throw it in the trash.
Yep.
Because here in Oregon, we get penalized if we put something that's not recycling in the recycling section. Like, the state will charge us if we put non-recyclables into the recyclables. So we, as Oregonians, have that saying that when in doubt, throw it out. The fact of the matter is this, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you consider Trump or not trash, you gotta remember, Trump won in 2016. In my opinion, a president is representative of the people he serves. Which means if he represents a nation, or a state, or whatever, he is your representation. Interpret that however you wish. But if Trump won in that day and era, it means that humanity is the way it is for that long. Ultimately, rigging? Nah, not at all.
Nah, that's what the Democrats want to argue with him for.
He can overrule Obama anyways, because Obama is already serving 2 terms.
Yeah.
So you can't overrule somebody who isn't even running. Presidents only have a 2-term limit. So in 2016, it was Hillary Clinton, which is way worse for the LGBTQ plus community to be quite fucking frank. If you're like, she, unlike Trump, she herself said that marriage is between a man and a woman. So she told you how she thinks about you, that you shouldn't be allowed to marry if you're not dating somebody of the opposite sex. Feel how you wish about Trump, but Trump not only had a rainbow flag saying LGBTQ plus for Trump, but he also got 13% of the voter base for that community. So you gotta understand, not everybody sees things the same way.
True.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that he's without flaw. No human being is without them. I like Trump because he's a representation of the people. Even when you take away all the, representative of the people argument and whatnot, you gotta understand the human nature itself. The reason why people, in my country at least, hated Trump being put in the power is because they hated what he represented. And what he represented was the mirror to reality that people don't want to admit. Because here in America, we have these delusional, you're the hero of your own story nonsense. Not only are you no one's hero, you actively, as a species, support a society that takes away your loved ones, expects you to serve it for your entire life. In my opinion, if you're wanting vengeance against the government and everything wrong with it, a real protest isn't walking around in the streets and being all angry and chanting and throwing up flags. The true best way to protest against the government is to entirely withhold taxes. If every marginalized community actually bothered to work together and refuse to pay taxes, the government's dead. And what better way to protest against the society?
One man.
Yeah?
How do you make sure the government just doesn't send in the National Guard and cause a fucking slaughter?
Probably because he can't fucking force fellow citizens to do so. And how many of the fucking National Guard are fucking annoyed about, being mistreated? How many people in the National Guard are also marginalized? And he's not. And they don't even send.
Monument.
They don't even send in the National Guard anyways. They send in the IRS, and the IRS can't exactly do something if nobody pays. The IRS is funded by taxpayer money.
Yeah, which is why, I mean, haven't you heard the saying, don't fuck with the IRS?
Yeah, and I disagree with it completely. The only reason why you don't fuck with the IRS is because you pay for the IRS. They can't exactly collect your money if they're not being paid. And no one's going to oppress their fellow citizens for free. The moment everyone who has ever been mistreated by our political officials, the moment everybody stops participating, there is no fucking...
everyone goes to jail.
No. It's
no.
You cannot...
Worst, okay.
You cannot imprison somebody for tax evasion when there's too many people to do so.
No. I think Ghost is getting on to something completely a bit different.
No, I don't agree.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Yeah, so how exactly do you coordinate millions of people?
That's the
Social
key.
media?
That's the main issue, though, is like getting people to coordinate with it. However, I would argue that if you're marginalized and you have the internet, maybe you should use Facebook, social media, and all these other groups and aspects of social media you can use to coordinate. The internet is known as the information superhighway for a reason. Only that the super information highway is now in 5Gs. Exactly. Fuck the IRS. So why the fuck is everyone paying into it?
Yeah.
Our money goes into
because they
funding.
don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, mate.
You can't go to jail if a large mass majority of people are not paying. The IRS have a small amount of people working for pay. And that that payment comes from taxpayer dollars. It's an endless cycle. It's an endless cyclical. It's an endless cycle of people paying in and people getting charged for not paying in. If
people would rather not go to jail than to
Ghost. You can't go to jail if there are no IRS people. IRS are paid by taxes.
Look at what happened to Greece. That's a perfect example of what happens when people don't pay taxes. They went bankrupt. The government couldn't do shit. They genuinely couldn't do shit.
I was going to comically say something about wasteful government spending and going to jail, but I'm just...
Look, I get where you're coming from. I'm not denying what you're saying. Your statements have a bit of truth to them. But you gotta understand one thing, okay? And even if you ignore everything else I said, if they... First time to fucking forget what I was trying to say. While your statement has truth to it, you gotta remember that government is also funded by the IRS, and that even if people are coerced into doing something,
it's going to
government,
take something
you gotta remember that
a lot bigger than Chaz.
Why would it? Yeah, no, the Chaz didn't even do anything. I'm not saying Chaz worked. Chaz was garbage. That's not a form of protest. That's a form of deprivation. You're not protesting the government by creating an autonomous zone. You're just starving yourselves. Ultimately, drug lords like there's a eventually Chaz got taken over by a drug lord kind of outfit. So there are like paramilitary gangs out there that you can generally use to take over. But that's not what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to is that without them, people will not do things without money. Money is the number one facet that keeps people in line. But if there is no one paying for the IRS because it's paid by our tax dollars, then they can't do anything to us because they're not going to work for free, especially for a government funded thing that actively oppresses its people. If every person
power be the thing keeping people in line rather than money.
Hold on.
Nope. Electrical power is not going to.
No, not that power.
Okay.
Oh, then
I'm talking about like let's say military force and whatnot.
So, I hope you don't mind.
You don't
creating a YouTube vid using you, by the way. It won't be a troll or anything against you. I mean,
that and influence.
Yeah, go on ahead.
Yeah, but you got to remember that's a very small vocal minority. You got to understand you got to understand that enforcement is the key factor here. If they're enforcing things, then yeah, people will fall in line. I'm just really fucking around on Genshin. Sometimes playing a game kind of keeps my brain moving. Well, not physically moving, but my train of thought moving.
And that's why I play Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought. So I think my own designs of battleships like Legos. You're just killing each other. How about that?
I'm just bookmarking a bunch of videos that I'm never going to watch before I die.
Why are you bookmarking them then?
Because I say I'm gonna watch them.
I see.
Just label them as videos I will never watch before I die. There you go.
Fair enough.
Because I eventually watch some of them, but not all of them.
Then take them off the playlist.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyways, so basically, Euskadi, Shadow already knows. So Euskadi, basically the context of this video is that Zepp made a pretty fire fucking video on Oshi no Ko, and somebody's mad that he used spoiler material in.
Many people are, to the point that I'm actually banned from the official Oshinoko Reddit for 3 days for posting spoilers.
Which makes no sense to me.
I'm gonna make a joke. Oh. Bad ping. Okay, I'm back. I prefer Otoko no Ko over Oshi no Ko.
I mean,
speak Japanese. You'll get the idea.
I mean, I don't necessarily agree. I think the in real life deal is kind of, you know what I mean? It's like, that's a little bit much.
Yeah, fair enough. I tend to call it Oshino Habsburg for a reason right now.
Yeah, no kidding. Fucking.
That's why I named it.
To be fair, I gotta say the same for Stan Smith from American Dad.
Oh.
Have you seen the dude's chin? What is with Seth Farland and giving the dads of the show big ass fucking chins, man? Never understood that.
He must have a fascination with something else entirely.
Nah, we were basically just doing it to we're basically just using him for fucking video fodder.
Mm-hmm.
I think Seth MacFarlane did this more of an iconic thing to make his character.
I'm being sarcastic and rhetorical with the question.
Same here.
The joke is that the Habsburg family had immaculate chins. Like, if I wish I had a chin like a Habsburg. The problem is I'm not willing to pay the price to get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see now.
My God.
Because not gonna lie, in real life, incest is bad, really fucking bad. Because it doesn't.
And I'm not.
It doesn't even go just as far as the chins. Like, it gives them unique psychological disorders. It can make them have a unique brain disorder that poisons the brain.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
In fact, it's the same. It's in fact, it's the same exact disorder as cannibalizing a person's brain. Have you ever heard of Kuru?
Kuru?
Yeah, it's called Kuru. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I don't know.
I think you should also mention it makes other people more likely to pick you up by the legs and use you as a sledgehammer.
Oh, yeah, so basically Kiryu in beast mode. Okay.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we're talking.
Except you're not going to be kicking ass.
Right? Juan Carlos the First, I think.
Point being is this.
AKA Spanish Habsburg.
The
Spanish Habsburg Empire going down was blamed on him because he had all those disabilities because of that very reason. So yeah. Yeah. Habsburg family is gonna Habsburg.
I'm actually surprised that's all they had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's even maybe the reason why it gets the Habsburg family didn't get the same level of disease is because it's a completely different strain. Yeah. The thing about it is that when more people group in and do those things, the worse the diseases get, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The worse the diseases get. Habsburg is a British family or whatever? Or,
no,
Austria-Hungary. Yeah.
Austria-Hungary, there you go.
Yeah. They're in Austria.
The British ones are the Wintons, aka the Saxe-Coburgs.
Point being is after the way genetics work is that generally dominant genes are passed on. So what they do is the logic back then was that if they kept it in the family, quote unquote, that they would be able to purify the bloodlines.
Yeah.
Keep impure, not purified. That was stupid of me to say.
In theory.
So, when talking about the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, it's basically this was before World War I think.
Yeah.
It is World War I because the Austrian-Hungarian Empire lost after World War I. That's right.
Yeah.
So ultimately, they're really only iconic for their chins, basically.
Yeah.
And people joke about how their chins are a result of keeping bloodlines pure, quote unquote. It's a stupid piece of logic from it's dumb logic from bad creative, and you're never gonna see it again. But when you pass down diseases, genetic diseases, the more people who are genetically diseased will pile on those diseases if that genetic disease is a dominant gene. So imagine one person with autism spectrum disorder, another with Down syndrome, end up having a child, and it's done through incestuous means. What you will get is someone in so ridiculously painful suffering that it really, really is the epitome of human cruelty.
Yeah, that is true.
And it is because of that
both of them are valid, actually. Because the way it's pronounced is the first one, but the way it's written is the second bit. So, yeah. Habsburg, same thing.
So phonetic versus alphabetical.
Yeah, because Austrian is basically German.
Yeah.
And they've got a bit of Hungarian in there as well, so... Yeah.
So
phonetics are different.
The reason why incest is illegal is because of the fact that it creates an incredibly heinous and cruel result.
Exactly. And it's morally very questionable.
Yeah. But you know how morals are, Zev.
Yeah,
people have different people have different rules and morals and yada yada yada. You got to remember, the Habsburg people considered, keeping the bloodlines pure, quote unquote, to be moral, but we both, completely disagree.
Exactly.
So
You need to have diversity in a bloodline, otherwise you're going to have so much genetic problems that you basically end up with what happened in the end of the Spanish Habsburg Empire as well.
You got to understand, morals are defined by our own experiences and what we do and do not know. The Habsburg people were not known to be influenced by science because scientific development back then was not really that good, excluding war machines. So
exactly. I'd agree so.
Anything short of like tanks or firearms or whatnot, those are really the only things that were advanced at the time.
You know what? When Hiram Maxim first made the first machine gun, a proper one, in the late 19th century, somebody was saying, the Europeans would love this because they always love to kill each other in wars. So,
I mean, are they wrong? Are they wrong?
Nothing wrong with that. It's good old capitalism. Hiram Maxim. Yeah. Leave it to a British man to just be like...
The only two times France was based when it came to military was Napoleon and Joan of Arc. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Other than that, maybe a bit of Verdun. That's because they basically didn't give up until the end.
So basically, the Oshinoko controversy, to kind of bring it all home here, is twofold. One, the stuff that Zeppelin and I brought up in that video is the pedophilia bit. Because remember, these are two characters who are cognitively aware at some point that they're both the people they are from the past. So basically, how Oshinoko's version of our world functions is that the reason why the main characters remember where they are, where the main characters remember their past lives is because they died with the, if you remember the last person you died and, remembering, you have a chance to typically be born as a member of that family or that person's family.
Or the interpretation that Akakazake also goes for is that you died with regret and now you relive it. But the thing is, your point is also valid because that's where they ended up.
Like, here's the thing. I still want to I know this. I promise you, Zepp, I'm not saying this out of spite. But hear me out. What if Akane is the guy who stabbed her? Stabbed I.
Oh, yeah, that makes episode 7 even more fucked up.
It also makes the outro make a bit more sense too.
Mephisto, yeah, it does. It does.
Which, by the way,
yeah. Go on.
So, to explain to other people, the Mephisto is a song sung by a band called Queen Bee, and it's the way they set up the visuals of that outro were fantastic.
And it kind of inspired Aqua's flashbacks scene in my vid as well. That's where I was inspired from.
We're not.
I mean,
what do you mean by what genre there's Shadow? You said that depends on what genre of anime you're bringing up. I don't know if I'm bringing up a genre.
No, it's just an anime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're talking about talking points in Oshi no Ko. So there's just that. Oshi no Ko basically has a rule in universe that if you die in regretting, or if you die with a person's face and name in mind, you're more likely to be with that person. See, that's fair. I was not.
Yeah.
That's why Shadow and I are on the wrong page, or on a different page, not wrong page, a different page. But what I liked most about the outro, the ending piece for Oshi no Ko is like the part, and you already know this part, Zepp, is the part where they convey the memories of Aqua.
Yeah, with I Hoshino in the background.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to get across with the ending part of it, but make it even more visceral.
Yeah.
Literal what it is.
It's a beautiful story because that's kind of how I process my own problems.
Mm-hmm.
Is that same sort of like fucking videotape background mentality. Yeah.
But the thing is, I like how people call Mephisto Akane's theme. Because it's usually like more, how do I say?
I don't agree. Hear me out.
No. Go
on. I mean, they kind of, I kind of agree with that, but not in the way they're insinuated. No. So, you know how I said that, mentioned that the Akane is the guy who stabbed I?
Go on.
You want to know how he died?
Suicide.
You want to know how Akane almost did?
Oh, suicide.
And they did, what the person who stabbed I felt before he committed suicide?
Regret.
It all connects.
Exactly.
So they're not exactly wrong.
But by your saying also what happened to Akane as on social media is a bit of karma.
Consider the following. From what I understand, when you look at the outro, only 2 people in that outro have, lack any dark perspective. Like with Goro, for example, Goro's image is in a background page of darkness. Ai's image is that of a kind of Joker-esque troll kind of thing.
Yeah. That's how she is.
Akane doesn't have any dark black wings or dark background. Kana is just her face. But Mem, as I call her, aka MEM.
Memcho, yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, Memcho, you know what else the MEM stands for? Main Event Mafia. Only pro wrestling fans will get that joke. It's a terrible joke.
The haircut on Memto makes sense now. And she's originally a brunette, so she actually dyed her hair.
We're not talking about Goro from Mortal Kombat. I didn't even realize there's a person in.
This is Goro Amamiya from Oshinoko, aka present Aqua Hoshino.
Euskadi Elite got the joke. He's like, bruh. But no, we're talking about the ending cutscene for you know how there's an ending theme for every anime. Well, we're talking about Mephisto by Queen Bee for Oshinoko's anime ending. So.
Oh, by the way, not related to Freddie Mercury in any way.
Wait, what? What?
Queen Bee.
Oh. I always looked at Queen Bee as a name for like the sound that they make in when they sing Mephisto.
Yeah.
Because when you hear them sing that sound, they kind of sound like they're buzzing like a bee.
Yeah.
So when you listen to like the ending,
oh yeah, true.
It kind of sounds like a bee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's intentional or not, but
no.
But Goro Amamiya is basically the previous life of our male protagonist. There's a male protagonist and a female protagonist. The male protagonist is Aqua. The female protagonist is Ruby. And they're both reincarnations from different people.
Yeah.
But they remember each other. They retained their memories. And here comes the other part that people kind of don't realize. They're two people who remember their past lives. And one of the, Ruby is actually a 12-year-old cancer patient in a past life. And
10, I think. Oh, yeah, I think 10.
Was it 10? This one was 12.
Yeah.
No, we're not talking about that Ruby. I already told you that we're not bringing that up.
No. This is Ruby Hush now.
I'm not talking about that discontinued scene show from a company that no longer exists. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that, Ruby, and fuck this one.
And it's so on Ruby's side, it's like a 10-year-old cancer patient, okay? And then on the other, Aqua is a 29-year-old doctor in the past life. What makes this creepy isn't that the idea of past lives happening, but the fact that they retain their memory of their past lives. So the implication of that means that it implies pedophilia because of the fact that they do recount their previous life. It wouldn't be creepy on any concept if it were just them having new lives, but they remember each other from their past lives. Not only does that have pedophilic implications, but also Florence Nightingale implications. Yes, there's actually a thing about Nightingale syndrome.
True. And the thing is...
What's that?
Florence Nightingale syndrome?
Yeah.
It's basically when a caretaker starts to fall in love with the person they're caring for.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. The thing is, okay, let me reiterate what...
So it's basically kind of like Lima syndrome, except not as bad.
What the fuck is Lima syndrome?
Lima syndrome is the opposite of Stockholm syndrome.
Ooh. So, Lima syndrome, but more consensual. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Also, yeah.
Now, keep in mind one thing, ladies and gentlemen. While I find it creepy, I'm not the kind of person who will say, "Oh, it's creepy, so it shouldn't be made." No, I don't agree with that. Some of the more, influential and powerful pieces of media are controversial and feature stuff that people will find kind of ick. That's just how it is. How many How many fucking isekai do people remember the name of?
Well,
there's like hundreds of them, and
yes.
how many of that? How many
There's
of those? How many of those hundreds are unique enough for you to remember their name?
Not much. There's like a good
Now,
one, that's it.
who remembers Kiss X Sis or Yosuga no Sora?
I remember the latter.
No.
See my point?
No.
See my point? See my goddamn point. If you drop those names, it not only invokes a reaction, it evokes a powerful.
Exactly.
You can do that same thing with a story that resonates with people, but there's different ways to resonate with people, and controversy is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what society tells you, if it resonates with you, it does not matter how it does so. And it resonates with people to the point where if you bring it up, everyone's like, yeah, in different contexts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but Euskadi, remember, the Isekai smartphone only is memorable because it's that fucking bad. Like, it's known for being so egregiously terrible that people remember that. And the fact that a lot of people like me who hate smartphones. That's a different conversation. So, tell me, people will forever remember Oshi no Ko if for nothing else but that manga panel. So that if you never...
Well, manga panel, for fuck's sake.
So if you forget...
123 is just nuts.
So if you forget the amazing ending, the amazing opening theme, and the amazing story and character designs of Oshi no Ko.
Oshi no Ko, yeah.
Sorry, that was a fucking me saying the wrong thing.
It might as well be an encore.
Oshi no Ko. People are going to remember that because, as we've mentioned previous, controversy creates cash. And people are always going to remember that stuff. So even if you forget everything else about Oshi no Ko, the first thing you think of will at least be, oh, isn't that the incest anime? That's
fucking Ruby.
Like, if nothing else, that is what you will remember by. Whether positive or negative, that is what you'll remember.
Yeah. That is rather unfortunate because of what went into it.
Yeah.
Only to be ruined by a few, that.
Keep in mind, I also wrote something similar in 2013, though it has a completely different, idea and bent about it. So, if you want to support that, go either to, if you want to fund it, go to, what was it? What was the site? There's a website. There's a website that let small publishers publish their own works.
Scribble Hub?
No. Hold on.
Is it fucking...
I know... I'm gonna find out its name, or the name of the website.
What kind of works are we talking about? Like books?
Smashwords, there we go. Support me on Smashwords if you wish. I have a Smashwords account, and it's maybe a little expensive for $12. A $12 novel. Or if you don't want to pay money to support it, I do have it on my I also have that and my fanfiction on my Pixiv. So if you want to know precisely what I'm referring to when I say that I wrote something in 2016, but I published it here years later, but that's beside the point, it's called Flying Omen. And second, I'll find there's a way I can figure out how to link the playlist. Fucking playlist. Oh, there it is. Sky Omen, not Flying Omen. I keep changing the name, but they all mean the same fucking thing. So, okay. So if you want to see something similar, can you stop poking fun at the baldness for fucking sake? That's something that Simon Blackwell's supposed to do. Ah, so must be talking with him. But, oh, in the meantime, I'm just gonna fuck around on Genshin some more. Till Zeppelin gets back in.
I think I've just died.
I'm pretty sure you're alive, bud.
My brain isn't.
Yeah, you still somehow have the motor functions to speak. You still have motor functions. It's just the ability to speak.
I don't have a motor.
Every human has a motor function in their brain.
Damn it, one man.
This is why you're a bone soldier. God damn it.
Yeah, if I can't convince a conservative that people should have the right to change their genitals, then, like, what good am I in a debate?
I mean, you can always fucking put in the work to study. Like, I'm not even conservative, man. I'm not a fucking conservative.
I'm a centrist.
Center left or center right?
Center left, I believe.
Then, yeah, you would technically still be liberal. It's just, like, let's be real. Centrists are a mix between either center left or center right. There's really no actual centrists. There's...
Well, I believe in the ownership of firearms. Oh, fuck, did my internet just die?
Like, here's the thing. I believe in defending those who are different than me. Like,
fuck, not one man. Zepp's mom is in the room, that's why he's not talking.
I figured as much. Like, here's the thing. I don't think that conservatives don't feel the same way. I think that conservatives just have a different mentality to it. Because ultimately, the only difference between liberals and conservatives is verbosity. Or maybe more accurately, their personal lexicon. The problem is that people have gone so far extreme that their ability to hear the other side out has kind of been stunted.
Yes, thank you.
I'm not blaming just conservatives for that. I'm blaming every person from every personal dynamic.
I'm well aware of it. You know, back in the Stone Age, before I discovered what being a centrist is, I thought the left was the worst at it.
You would be right, but that's a different conversation.
But holy fucking shit.
But just
I can't decide which side's worse now.
I mean, I would still say my fellow leftists, just because they're more prone to violence. But I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of people on both sides that aren't. Sorry, not both sides. All sides that are fucking insufferable. And to me, branding any side by a large demographic is woefully dishonest. In my opinion, everybody has something of value to contribute, no matter how big, no matter how small.
if people
Thanks, Shadow. Thank you. Have a good day.
People don't realize this, and if they could, there would probably be a lot more effort, like actual genuine effort put into charities.
Here's the
might
thing.
actually get somewhere.
Here's the thing, okay? When you push people around to the point where people are exhausted, people are not going to want to listen or hear you out. That's what both sides seem to, or really any side seems to fail to understand. You can't just expect people to randomly listen. You cannot expect to just take. You have to be able to give them something of return. A buddy of mine has a perfect saying for this sort of situation. Okay? The best way for you to convince somebody to your own side, your own cause, your own belief, is to make them think they came up with the idea themselves. It's a fucking beautiful piece of wisdom, and I fucking love it. That in order for someone to convince another, that you just have to convince them they came up with the idea. That to me is fucking brilliant. And it's a saying that I tend to stick to. Because it's fucking true. So if you want to get somebody onto your side, you have to make them think they came up with your ideas. It really is that simple. Here's the thing. I've seen some white supremacists online who kind of have a point. Like, do I think white supremacy is okay? No. Do I think they have a point of, a lot of these new programs and ideas used to attack them rather than, integrate them into a more multicultural society? Also, yes. I don't hate multiculturalism, but it's the way they go about it.
All right,
Wanting
I'm back.
Wanting inclusivity is fine, but you have to also be willing to include them, if that makes any sense. Because I think people who do inclusivity as a concept don't understand how it actually works. See, inclusivity is not just people you agree with. It's not including people only you like. It's including people while having to compromise somewhat to be inclusive. Inclusive is built on include. And if you don't include someone, then you're not inclusive. I can't believe I had to play fucking semantical games, but here we are.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Unfortunately, the word inclusivity or inclusive is enough to give any seasoned conservative like impending panic.
Yeah, because
but what do you base that on? Is it maybe because you're not being caring and inclusive for what they care about? You gotta understand, a lot of that sort of stuff and that terminology is super self-flagellating. There is no for the sake of the other person about it. It's all about doing what I believe is right and not what is right for necessarily the greater good. I mean, I don't hate the idea of representation, but when you only represent the people and groups you like, you're not really representing people. You're just pushing people down others' throats. It's why I don't think that the LGBTQ plus community should be fucking, dealing around with money and ideologies from corporations. Because ultimately, people hate corporations and they hate celebrities. In my opinion, they should be, pushing people who are of small time. But no, they're focusing on establishment fuckheads. You'd be surprised on how many commonalities the LGBTQ plus community and MAGA, for example, share in common, but they're too egocentric to notice that they're in common. Both hate corporations, both hate the establishment, the only difference is their reasoning. But instead of fucking understanding this basic concept, they're instead in a continuous, endless pissing contest. And the worst part is, I don't exactly fucking blame them. When people feel like they're about to be rendered extinct, they're going to fight. A cornered animal will almost always be guaranteed to bite. They're not going to accept poison. It's why I'm not woke despite the supposed definition people give it. It's because I know that it's always doublespeak. It's not ever anything that helps other people. It's always done for self-flagellation. I don't hate LGBTQ plus people. I have more of those than fucking heteronormative. I don't hate people of color. I don't hate Hispanic people. There's a lot of people I hate in the world, but based on immutable, facets of themselves that they can't control, fuck no. I don't hate that shit about them. I hate the shit that they continuously build up a society that has never been truly to their benefit, and yet still have the gall to say they're virtuous.
Exactly.
People build up a society that takes away everyone they love, whether conservative, liberal, or whatnot, and all people will do is instead cope with reality on pure copium by saying they're virtuous. And that's all it is. If it's not narcissistic, it's pure fucking copium.
I mean, hence why in 2016 everyone was fucking losing their shit when 4chan made the memes and Trump won, essentially.
What's funny is that a lot of the symptoms of 2016 are also happening here and now. Only much worse.
Yeah, because
I'm not against Trump. I'm not against
Yeah.
I'm not against Trump being held accountable for his actions for disclosure. I hate the people who are doing so. Because it's basically criminals trying other criminals. And there's nothing more.
Oh my Virgil's paying for child support.
What the hell? How?
No, Mike.
Virgil.
It's made from this from last year.
Okay.
Is it
the most fucking alien thing ever? He's him and Hikaru Kamiki from Oshinoko.
Like, here's the thing, like Virgil, you're probably like showing that one Maxor video who pays child support by throwing a My Little Pony book.
That's how. Meanwhile, Hikaru Kamiki's child support is literally getting their mother killed in front of them.
What I love is he's like, "Hey Nero, tell your mom that I'm not fucking paying." What I find, and you know what I find funny about that?
Yeah, go on.
Nero's mom is technically dead.
Yeah.
So
wait a minute. Hold on. Here's a crack theory. Fucking Aqua and Nero are the same person.
That's not necessarily a crackpot theory. I'd say that's actually pretty accurate.
Oh god.
They're both very angsty, angry people. They're angsty. Oh, yeah. They're angry. They lose their parents.
Mm-hmm.
They both have poor love interests, to put it charitably. Both he and Aqua want some level of power.
Exactly. Aqua's thing is just being fucking emo. I have become death, the killer of my own world.
Oh, come on. You can't do that. Come on. Poor guy's just on pure fucking insanity. He's on that's
at least with Aqua you could understand it. His mom literally got stabbed in front of him and died.
I mean, yeah. Well, we don't know how Nero's mom died, but yeah.
No, that's the thing. We don't.
But if anybody knows like what actually
unless
caused,
Capcom is going that way, and literally shows us.
yeah, like I don't know if he even has that backstory, because they never show us anything other than the fact that his mom's a whore.
Mom's dead.
Well, that too, but right.
Left for milk.
Did you ever play the special edition of DMC4?
No.
Basically, Virgil
and 5, and that was it.
Basically, Virgil. I absolutely agree, Euskadi. The problem is that everyone who's holding him accountable is fucking criminals. All the people who are trying him right now are people who are blatantly abusing the law. Like Letitia James right now, she's getting her thing. Or sorry, no, Fannie Willis. That's District Attorney Fannie Willis is having a court case against her right now. The judge will not let him and his lawyer team pass out information that might actually give Trump something to work with. Every step of the legal process so far has been so fucking corrupt that it kind of just, in my opinion, brings mistrial. Any sane judge, any sane appeals judge will literally take the entire situation and treat it as a mistrial. And that fucking sucks. Because if you're committing the crime but not doing the time because a bunch of people incompetently handled the case, that's kind of fucked up. That's like the one drawback of double jeopardy. Because if you're held accountable for a crime, but the court does not fucking make you pay the consequences because of the fact that, when you pay for the consequences, you're supposed to, be put in jail for them. If you're not being put in jail for your consequences because of a fucking mistrial and a bastardization of the trial, you can't be held accountable again. Because double jeopardy means you can't be held accountable more than once for the same crime. So if you're fucking protected by double jeopardy, at that point, that fucking sucks. That's called a criminal getting away with his actions. And any sane person can look at the event and say, yeah, sure, they let him campaign. But at the same time, they're doing so to try and make an excuse that it's not politically motivated. But here's the thing, if it was done in 2021, I don't think most people would bat a fucking eyelash. If the people holding him accountable were actually good at what they do and weren't blatant fucking hypocritical narcissists, I don't think anybody would bat an eyelash. Because then there would be no timing excuse, there'd be no administrative excuse, everything would be I's dotted and T's crossed. But instead of dotting I's and crossing T's, you're dotting T's and crossing I's. So, no, I don't think that what's going on with Trump right now is a good thing. Because it's not a good thing when, you're being prosecuted by corrupt criminal bastards. It's why I both laugh my ass off and get legitimately pissed off. Because I know full well that the people who are holding him accountable are people who are guilty of similar crimes as him. I fucking hate that. In my opinion, if you're somebody who is fucking held in multiple conflicts of interest, who fucking use the treasury of the state of Georgia to fund both your campaign and your divorce case, no, I don't think that person's actions or attempts to hold anyone accountable should be treated with legitimacy. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, in case you aren't aware, Letitia James, right now, has embezzled funds to deal with her own personal divorce case and to pay for prosecution against Trump. She is embezzling state funds for personal projects and personal issues. She is literally in court getting roasted and burned by her opposition's lawyers. So why should I believe that someone like that has to any fucking right or authority to put charges against a man? In a nation of equality, in a nation of egalitarianism, in what one of those states should a criminal persecute and prosecute another criminal? There's no reason for it. There's no excuse.
That sounds like something straight out of a fucking Yakuza plot.
A selfish deed. It's not freedom. I couldn't resist. I love that song. It makes, it's all in English, but no one can fucking tell. That's like my favorite subgenre of Japanese music. Where songs are sung entirely in English, but because they're Japanese, they don't know how to actually correctly pronounce it. So it just sounds completely incomprehensible, even though they're, writing on-the-nose shit about the plot of Yakuza 4. That's, my favorite subgenre. What's funny to me about that subgenre of, anime music is that every time they do that kind of music, they're technically spoiling the plot of the game or the show. To me, that's fucking hilarious. That is some of the most hilarious shit I've ever heard. Yeah, it's actual fucking lawyers. Not kangaroo court lawyers. Honestly, I feel like I shouldn't be calling anything in Phoenix Wright kangaroo lawyers. I feel like that's disrespectful to both kangaroo courts and kangaroos. A selfish deed. God damn it. Thanks, Ghost. You got me stuck on the song. Though, in fairness, it is a good song to get stuck on. Fuck it, I'm playing the song. Since we're not doing much talking. Death for faith. Alright. Which, by the way, once I'm done platting both WWE 2K and 2K24 and Yakuza 0, I'm gonna go for Yakuza 4. One more time.
What's the deal with Sweet Baby Incorporated?
Sorry, that's
yeah, Sweet Baby Incorporated. It's basically a consulting firm for DEI. If you don't know what DEI is, ladies and gentlemen, it's this concept called diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it's basically just a consulting firm for that sort of stuff. They're supposedly a sensitivity consultation firm in regards to things involving people of color and marginalized communities. They're people who basically want to make sure that it's not offensive to those communities, so that if they include characters or things like that, they're not openly railing against or insulting or attacking them. So basically, if you feel like, if you're concerned that your ideas or meaning are offensive, whether or not they're offensive to people and readers and consumers, you consult groups like that. As for the controversy, there's a guy who made a Steam curator group called Sweet Baby Incorporated Detective Series, or a detective group. And what it does is that it shows companies and series that include this sort of stuff. So, and what happened is that a member or two basically started harassing Sweet Baby Ink Detected and tried to get their page shut down. And it's pretty much the same exact shit as like Gamergate, which is kind of funny to me because the last time that happened, Donald Trump got elected. So I kind of am, conflicted on whether I want to root for them to keep doing that or not, because I hate harassment, but I find the idea of Trump winning again because of it funny. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Euskadi.
Hey.
So, like I said, I'm kind of conflicted because on one hand, I kind of want them to keep putting their foot in their mouth and getting Donald Trump elected, but on the other, it's like, I don't really agree with the harassment thing. And it's the same issue with Gamergate. Basically, the fake news media, like they're doing now, they're basically saying the same shit, that it's gamers' fault, that, that they're just, redneck, neckbeards, yada, yada, yada. They did the same shit in Gamergate. And I don't know whether I want to root for them or not, because I want Donald Trump elected again. Don't like the idea of harassment to get there.
I just want the third-party candidate to win.
Yeah, good luck with that. It's not going to happen. Anybody who believes it can does not know history. Just saying, man. You're better off picking the lesser of two evils. Taking third party.
It's exactly this kind of mentality which enables the two-party system, which is a direct insult of democracy.
Yeah, let's. I need to put a kibosh on that immediately. That is demonstrably untrue. The fact that we even have two options in the first place is inherently democratic. Having the actual fucking choice, having at least a duology, is still democratic. I don't know why you have to say that it's against democracy when the concept of choice is democratic. And then secondarily, you have to understand that the reason why third parties don't win is that it's a fact. And the reason why it's a fact is the Electoral College. No matter how many people vote for a third-party candidate, electorates from the Electoral College will not vote for them. And no, I would not be for removing the Electoral College because this is a fucking republic.
I don't see what's democratic about voting for two people who...
The aspect of choice. The aspect of choice is what makes democracy. If there is no choice... If there is no choice...
called the illusion of choice?
Not really, no. Because if you have two options, it does not matter whether those options are completely destructive or not. Having the choice between Trump or Biden is what makes this country a democracy. Because in a non-democracy or in a non-elected official, you would have either Trump or no one, or Biden or no one. The two-party if you want to fight the two-party system, you are not going to do it by elections. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an understanding as to another reason why I side with Trump. Because what he's doing to the Republican Party is perfect for that goal. Because currently, right now, he is splitting and fragmenting the Republican Party. He co-opted it from the people who ran it originally. He split it apart with his behavioral actions. There is now a split between the MAGA front and the Republican front. And it's breaking and fragmenting it into smaller factions. Something similar...
So basically, moderate Republicans versus hardline Republicans.
Not quite. It's... MAGA is a combination between liberal Republicans and hardline. Because I am not hardline Republicans at all. I hate the Republican Party. But I'm aligned with it, basically as a lesser of two evils concept, and also because of Trump. If Trump were not the candidate, I would not vote. because I do not care for society at this point, and I don't want to participate it beyond what I have to. But since my goal is to fragment the two-party system and break them into smaller group systems, my goal is either a 3-party system or a 4-party system. I'd also accept a no-party system, personally. And you know how all of those will ever come through and come to pass? Supporting Trump.
There is no such thing as a no-party system. People are going to eventually organize into groups.
Japan says otherwise. Just because they have names to them does not mean they're a party system. A party system is defined by a consistent grouping of individuals. Japan has like 8 different fucking groups, and they're always consistently changing all the time. So yes, there is such a thing as a no-party system, because there is never a true, complete, dominating political faction, then yeah, there is no defining, party going on. Because if there's 8 parties and they're always shifting and changing, then they're not a party formation. They're not any sort of dominant party. 2-party system in our country works because the 2 dominating factions are always Republican and Democratic. It is
stopping people from merging every political party possible, picking a candidate for their primaries and running them up against the big 2.
The Electoral College, as I previously mentioned. The Electoral College is pretty much funded by the Democrats and the Republicans. The only way to fight that is to split already the 2 dominant factions into smaller factions.
So that could be used as a propaganda tool to once again promote the 3rd coalition.
It's not a 3rd coalition. It's the exact opposite. It's the fact that when you split 2 dominant parties into 2 smaller factions per dominant party, that's when the fragmentation goes from a 2-party system to a 3 or 4-party system. Because Democrats...
I'm going off of my idea. Creating a coalition, getting influence, getting votes, and if the coalition...
Here's the other problem. We don't actually vote for the candidates. We vote for the electorates. Here's the thing. Trump lost the popular vote, and George W. Bush did. But they still became president. And the reason for that is because we do not actually elect the president. We do not elect the president, and we don't elect SCOTUS members. 2/3 of our party are not even determined by the people. They're not even determined by me. I have a favorite article I like to show people who claim this country is a democracy, because it's not. There has been 5 politicians who won the election who did not win the popular vote. And the popular vote is basically what people think makes us a democracy. The problem is there have been 5 presidents who have lost the election. So, I'm going to put this in the politics section. I highly encourage you to read it. I can't force you, obviously, but I can, in fact, encourage you to read it. Because there have been 5 candidates in this country that have won without the popular vote. In an actual democracy, that number should be 0. And when we vote for representatives instead of our leader, we are not, by definition, a democracy. Especially when 2/3.
So basically, you're voting for somebody, and they have,
Yes.
and they can just go against your vote.
Yeah, in certain states, yes.
That should actually be a crime.
Yeah, well, it's not treated as a crime, but it does also at the same time when you do vote against the established candidate, you don't get to vote again. So keep that in mind. But Donald Trump won because of the fact that this country is not a democracy. Part of the entire point is to keep up the illusion of democracy, but we've never been one. We have, from the start, not voting for our candidates. There's even a point where if you don't get enough electoral votes after recounts and revotes, that it ends up being determined by Congress. So even that further removes the agency of the American voter. If you understand the level of corruption that our own system on its own has, is the moment you start to stop believing that our nation is a democracy, because it's not. Hate to have, your ideas shattered at this rate, but what can you do but let people down softly?
Been fighting corruption since the goddamn 1800s.
You say that, but in actuality, a lot of people have not, actually. The only corruption people have fought was slavery, and rightfully so.
What about the monopolies? I.e. the Sherman Antitrust Act, which sought to put an end to it.
Tell that to all the entertainment mediums who have, done a soft monopoly, basically. Like, look at Warner Bros. They're taking all of this. Look at Warner Bros. And all the fucking different stuff that they're taking. Look at the fact that Netflix is acquiring WWE Raw. We are literally going to have WWE programming, both Raw and NXT, on Netflix in 2025.
No. I do not want to live in a world where you're forced to go on Netflix to watch WWE. That is a fate worse than death. I would rather...
Well, a fun little fact. UFC and WWE actually had a merger. So now, your deals with WWE being on Netflix could also lead to UFC being on Netflix too. It's called TKO.
What being on Netflix?
UFC. Do you know what MMA is?
Yeah, I know what UFC is.
Alrighty. Well, WWE and UFC had a merger and became a company called TKO Holdings. So there's a solid possibility that you may actually see both UFC and WWE on Netflix. Though, keep in mind, that's going to be a difficult thing to enforce copyright-wise when it comes to like Netflix shit, because Netflix policies on copyright are different from TV. So there could be an upswing in piracy. So if you wait a couple of months after them, selling the license rights to Netflix, you might be seeing an uptick in piracy for it. So if you want to launch it away from Netflix, best time to do so is after a couple of months of it being on Netflix. So to bring it back to the point, just because you have trust laws doesn't mean they're enforced. Or antitrust laws does not mean they're enforced. It's the same issue with like gun control. We have means to prevent people from obtaining guns if they are mentally unwell. But, no one fucking enforces it. What good is a law if we have no enforcement? Why should we fucking add more laws if those laws don't fucking work?
So we can make a dictatorship, of course.
My question was rhetorical.
Judges also need to be trained to enforce the laws, especially the monopoly laws.
Yeah, the problem is that good luck telling that to them.
Yeah, in order to be a judge, you have to be a lawyer for
Nope.
like decades.
Nope. There are parts.
Don't.
In some cases, no. In local areas, for example, you vote for them. In SCOTUS's case, a president nominates them, and a Senate determines whether or not they're qualified. You could literally hire the dumbest motherfucker on the planet who's never touched a law book in their fucking life, and as long as you have the right senators in play, they'll vote yes, and they will take your fucking 8-year-old red-headed fucking special needs cousin and make him a Supreme Court justice.
What? I could do that as president of the United States.
Yes, you can nominate the dumbest motherfucker on the planet, and if you have enough senators in office...
Do they have to be a human being? Like,
yes.
Can they be a cat or something?
No.
Okay.
What, were you gonna try and get your cat girl waifu body pillow? Is that what you were going for?
I was going to...
Oh, sorry, I forgot you're into Felix. So, my bad.
No, I'm actually not into Felix. I'm actually into women.
I mean, fair, but still.
Trans
women or biological?
Any woman.
Because you gotta remember, Fuda is hermaphrodite, not technically female.
Okay, women with or without penis.
There you go. Noted. Keep in mind...
I swear to God, I have to explain this to somebody. When I say Fuda, I don't mean hermaphrodite. If I mean hermaphrodite, I would say hermaphrodite.
You don't need to explain it to... Fuda. You don't need to explain it to me. I already told you what it meant. Like, come on. My point being is, like, I wanted you to specify, not tell me.
There was this guy who is so aggressive about not calling women with dicks futa, and makes a really big deal about it.
And that's because he probably drank the Kool-Aid and thinks that they're actually, trans, which they're not. But
no, like, not even trans.
Well, I'm not saying he's talking about trans. I'm saying he probably thinks Fuda are trans, which is not true. He probably thinks that is what I'm saying.
They're not trans?
No, he thinks that they are, and I don't think that they are.
Are you trying to refer to that as intersex?
Yes, that would be the correct term. Hermaphrodites are, in fact, intersex. And, not a realistic portrayal of one, but one nonetheless. That is what hermaphrodites are. Though I tend to only use them because people don't ever use intersex. But if someone who was actually intersex were to ask me to use intersex, I would absolutely. Here's the thing. Here's my stance on using certain terminology for people. You go with what they're comfortable with, not what you are. And I think that accuracy is important in that regard. Oh boy, who's the hottie that Robo just sent me? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Something happened.
Look at my stream right now. Look at who's... That's Stell from Honkai Star Rail. AKA the female protag.
I'm almost there. I just had to, I had to click off about 739 more tabs.
739. Okay. Whatever you say, champ.
No, it was actually, I actually started out with 571.
No, you didn't. Dude, I have like 150. And that's what my fucking... What my screen looks like, it looks like it's a fucking mess. But if you see that chick right there... Oh, God.
Okay, one man. You don't believe that I started out with 571 unread tabs on my YouTube.
Prove me wrong. Oh, yeah. If you're talking about... Wait, what do you mean by YouTube tabs, then? Because I'm talking about Chrome
YouTube
tabs.
Notifications from unwatched videos.
Oh, you're talking about notifications. That's fucking what you're talking about. God, when you say tabs, I think of fucking stuff like Chrome and Firefox.
Okay, to be fair, I haven't opened up every tab all at once. If I had that feature on YouTube notifications, it would be amazing. But I've been holding off because it's been a bitch to scroll through them all.
Sorry, I'm basking in their glory right now. Basking in his glory. Basking in his glory. Yeah. Okay. That doesn't look like 700 some odd tabs. You know, this, on the other hand, fucking does. And
yeah, so the
here we go.
damn it. I already forgot.
But yeah. This version of Stell, oh my god. She is amazing. In more than one way.
Why do you have a bunch of tabs from Google?
What do you mean? What do you mean bunch of tabs from Google? Oh, you mean...
yeah.
Okay, so I have one for Kiwami Otometo My Life, because I was stuck on that song and trying to find a way around it. I have one where I was searching for image where pointing out the difference between equity and equality, because of Twitter. Sistine drinking tea, because I like her as a smug character, and I like doing that when I want to like just really rub in the salt. I have one for the "I'll be offended on your behalf" meme, because a lot of people who are not struggling right now love to exploit those struggling. Front towards enemy logo, because it's basically a military thing that I'm obsessed with. Clara Star Rail One-chan, you don't want to like get into that discussion with me. 4K anime girl wallpaper, because I want to throw out
fuck, I can't folder the tabs.
I have one where I was looking up how to set up a principal election committee with the FEC, I think it's called. One for Shugo Chara, because it's like my favorite shoujo anime. Amuhin Mori, because I used to look up to her. I'll be there no matter what meme. And 5 presidents who did not win the popular vote. Yeah, I have a weird, unhealthy obsession with weird references, weird ideas, and tabs and shit. I mean, I like this still picture not just because she's hot, but because I have gender identity issues, to put it blunt. So, there's that too. So, this hottie still's a fucking hottie.
Fucking hell, Why is everything running so slow?
I don't know. Good question.
I know it's my internet. My internet should not be running this slow.
Well, who do you have for your internet provider?
Fuck if I do. I'm not paying for them.
Wait, then who's paying for your internet?
My brother.
Ah.
I wanted to get my own internet, but he said, "No, I'm gonna pay for it because I don't know."
Weird.
To put the thing into perspective. Like, whatever it was a really stupid reason, but I didn't want to argue about it because I was getting free internet. And now I do want to argue about it because the free internet that I'm getting is,
Yeah, I feel like that's
much...
I feel like it's something you should take up with your brother, not me. That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit, it's a good opinion. It's just, it's like when you step into a Walmart and then the lights just dim and then it goes brighter again and it dims and it goes brighter again. That's my internet connection.
Lovely. Lovely.
I feel like the guy running it has a hamster in the thing to save electricity.
Did you see my AMV yet, by the way?
Is what?
My AMV.
Oh shit, I'm gonna have to get the AMV on.
I'll link it. I already told you the song it's referencing, but I thought I'd show it to you because I think I did a pretty decent job at it. I didn't get everything.
Stream somewhere. It's somewhere in one of my tabs. Oh, it's the AMV, not the actual stream.
I said, did you see my AMV? That's what I said.
Probably queued it.
Ah. I already showed you the song it's referencing, but yeah. That was fun. I used fucking the electric space that Raiden Shogun summoned, and I did it next to an exploding crate or whatever, and made all my enemies explode. That was fun. That was really fun.
Raiden's really hot. I'd smash.
Let's be real, you'd rather be smashed by her.
Yeah, I would. I would.
I called it.
How much do you think she'd pack if she has a dick?
I don't think she'd be able to fit it under a skirt, to put it bluntly.
So it's more of like one of those guns where you just assemble them out of the briefcase.
I don't know how that would be possible with a dick, but okay.
Or it's called a strap-on.
Oh, you mean that? Okay.
Maybe it's an adjustable.
I was going to say that she packing a large one real deal, like to the point where I'd be like, don't give her any pair of short shorts.
A collapsible dick.
Jesus, man. Nothing of the sort.
I'm faking about it.
So, where is Zepp? One second, ladies and gentlemen.
We can carry on in his stead.
Nah. Honestly, it's probably just a... What I'm basically saying is, like, if he's good, or if he's pretty much done for the day, then I was going to cut the stream. Like, we can still VC, it's just I'm saying stream-wise. Trying to make sure the people, if anybody watches this in post, if they mention it, if he, in post, if they don't want us wasting time and whatnot. So, I'm gonna use the restroom.
Well, now that one man is away from the stream, I guess it's my responsibility to find the... yeah, I can't find the stream. It is somewhere on my tab, and I actually can't find it. Oh, yeah, okay, now I found it. I don't know how long Elite has said that. But yeah, see you, Elite. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, I'm not, like, actually on the live moment. Oh shit, yeah, only I'm watching this stream. Funny.
I'm back.
Welcome back, one man.
Zepp, you good?
Zepp, if you're trying to talk right now, your mic's muted. What is he doing with his mom?
I don't
Did
know.
he, like, kidnap him and take him to, grocery shopping?
I don't think you kidnap people to go grocery shopping.
My mom did it to me when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's probably you, going on a family outing.
No, like, I am genuinely being serious. When I was still living with my stepfather and mother, I would be done with school, and immediately after, we would go all the way over to fucking Munich, and they would spend until it was the afternoon, like very late, and it was dark outside, grocery shopping. And my mother was the fucking worst at this. She would spend all afternoon in that store.
You know, if she didn't force you to come with, I'd say, you know, I would normally just say, well, maybe it's her favorite place, but yeah, that's a bit much. I mean, I never really saw it as kidnapping when, you know, my mother would take me, but there you go, you know.
Well, I mean, if you didn't grow up with a game console or just something to escape,
I grew up with
not having good social skills and friends next door. That's my experience.
Yeah, well, I grew up with some video games, but I don't think you and I have the same experience with that because, yeah, my video games are phenomenally older.
I mean, I played on an actual Game Boy Advanced SP.
I played on a goddamn fucking original and a goddamn MS-DOS computer. Like I said, completely different age.
Well...
Hell, my most fond computer memories are with Windows 95. Have you even played Asteroids?
Trying to think. I remember there was an Asteroid game. No, that was a fucking screensaver. God damn it.
Let's just say that it's on the same level as an Atari game, and all it is you're a triangle shooting at rocks that you're vaguely supposed to assume they're asteroids. That's the level of video game that I grew up with for like the first few years.
I think my first time with philosophy was wondering how my vehicle had infinite ammo.
Philosophy you learned that from? What? Why?
Yeah, I think that's my first vague attempt at philosophy, was figuring out how my vehicle had infinite ammo.
How is that in any way related to philosophy?
Well, when you're a 7-year-old kid,
you usually don't actually do philosophy, but sure.
Maybe that's why I didn't have any friends growing up. I would bore them with lectures about World War II.
Since Zepp isn't responding, I'm probably going to cut it here. Alrighty, thank you all for watching. I think we've taken up enough of your time. I've been One Man. The people who have appeared on this stream are Zeppelin and our local bone soldier, SDW Ghost.
Oh, I'm a bone soldier, alright.
You don't even know what that means.
Oh, it means I have a bone.
No, it doesn't. Anyways. No, I mean, it doesn't mean that. Anyways. That has been us from Team Orwell / Kokutai Luzifier. Remember that my will is absolute. That when the devil speaks, you pay attention.
Generations bred from mountain up. Born from the blood that took them up. 12 savage generations bred from mountain up. 12 savage generations. Say this as my declaration. 12 savage generations. Say this as my declaration. Generations bred from Malcolm up. Born from the blood that took them up. 12 savage generations bred from